Gov. Charlie Baker signed the bill on Friday. Pittsfield, Mass. Gov. Charlie Baker signed updated marijuana regulations into law Friday. Voters had passed the legalization of recreational use of marijuana in November, and since then lawmakers have been reworking the law, which included a 6-month delay. After negotiations between the House and Senate, the legislature passed changes to the citizens' referendum on July 20, which was then signed on Friday. We appreciate the careful consideration the legislature took to balance input from lawmakers, educators, public safety officials, and public health professionals while honoring the will of the voters regarding the adult use of marijuana, Gov. Charlie Baker said in a release issued Friday. We look forward to appointing members of the Cannabis Control Commission and the Cannabis Advisory Board to join us in working with Treasurer Goldberg, Attorney General Healy, local officials, law enforcement, and all other stakeholders involved to implement the enhanced law safely and responsibly throughout the Commonwealth. Locally, one particular change in the legislation that'll impact the Berkshires is that the law passed by voters did not classify marijuana cultivation as an agricultural use and now is. State Sen. Adam Hines said agriculture is an area where the Berkshires has an advantage because of the number of farmers and open space. The bill signed by Governor now allows for local farmers to grow marijuana and hemp. That's an industry that has been suffering, Hines said of farming in general. The Pittsfield Democrat said he had filed amendments to the law to break down the barriers holding farmers back. His amendments include leveling the playing field for the cultivation of hemp and lowering some of the fees a farmer would have to pay in order to get the licenses required. The bill calls for a sliding scale for licensing based on the size of the farm. Folks who are already participating in the medical marijuana field were able to cross the starting line 2 years ahead, Hines said. We wanted to make sure cultivators here could participate without barriers. State Rep. William Smitty Pignatelli said as the debate over the bill rolled out over the last 8 to 10 months, a local farmer had really shown him the benefits of hemp as both a product but also an economic opportunity. The new bill considers marijuana as an agricultural product, so that allows farmers to get into that business, Pignatelli said. Farley Bouvier also praised that change, allowing a new industry to grow. In the Berkshires, with lots of open space, there is an economic opportunity for local farmers to get into that market. Another sticking point in the law was the amount the product should be taxed. Friday's bill ups the amount of tax on the product from 12% on the referendum to 20%. That includes increasing the local tax from 2% to 3%. Pittsfield will be able to pass regulations and collect revenue, said State Rep. Tricia Farley Bouvier, D. Pittsfield. The level of tax had been of much debate. Lawmakers were trying to find a balance of receiving enough revenue from it while being low enough to discourage black market sales. The compromised position has a 10.75% state excise tax, 6.25% state sales tax, and a 3% tax from the local communities. There is also an optional impact fee which could be negotiated by a host community, which is capped at 3%. It was difficult to take the lead from other states because as this bill was in conference committee, other states were altering their